Welcome back to the Twin Cities Film Fest, presented by Stern Spank. I'm your host, Brianna Rose Lee, and with me I have the writer and actor of the short film Hold, Kelly Strandemo. Yes, that was right. I'm like, wait, hello, welcome to the festival. It's so great to have you here. Just want to hear a little bit about the writing process. Was this a story you set out to write and wanted to act in, or did that just kind of come about? How did that process work?
So this was written during the COVID pandemic, and I live in New York City, and we were in the second lockdown, so it was very isolating. And I was recounting a story to my producers, who eventually ended up producing the film, about something that had happened when my father passed away many, many years prior to that. And so it was written just as a sort of a way of negotiating how we were all feeling about COVID and about where we were with our families, where we were not with our families. And I think that the implication for me to be part of it was sort of always there. It's just this, there's a character written somewhat based on my real life, but we certainly were open to other options, and when we were able to get Deborah Monk and she approved me, then it all worked out. Yeah,
that's incredible. So have you written other short films before, or are you primarily an actor? I always am curious when I hear about writer actors, kind of what came first.
The acting definitely came first. I have my master's degree in classical acting from the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art, actually Lambda. And it was actually when I was there studying to be an actor that I started writing a little bit. And yeah, I'm actually more of a playwright by trade. This is my first film, so I'm just thrilled to be able to be in a festival like Twin Cities. It's been so warm and welcoming, and it's very exciting to be able to sort of navigate between all of the genres.
Okay, I actually love hearing that. It was more of a theater actor than playwright. What made you want to try doing this as a short film as opposed to maybe just a one-person show?
Well, I definitely think that the short film for this particular story is the perfect sort of genre for it, because it does encapsulate a very specific moment of time that is sort of both ordinary and extraordinary, depending on your point of view. And the film allows you to just be much more expansive in that view. I love theater. I'm a theater girl by trade, and I just came from doing a show, but it's a very different aspect than seeing something on a very large screen where you're almost able to freeze time. You can't really do that on the stage in the same way. So I love them both, but this definitely is a story that lends itself more to film.
That's so incredible, and I can't agree with you more. I am a theater junkie. That is my first love. But you're right. There are some stories that do need to be told on film because it's a time capsule.
Absolutely, and I think like vice versa. Like there's some stories that lend themselves to the stage because they have the fantasticality of them and the sort of otherworldliness, but film is a very special thing to be able to capture stillness, capture time, capture all of those things that the theater is ephemeral and doesn't quite get in the same way.
Totally. So what were some of your challenges then while you were doing this project? Since it was your first film project, what were some of the challenges that came up?
Well, fortunately, I had an amazing producing team and an amazing director. And
shout out to producers.
Absolutely, they are the heart and soul of this business. So I was very well supported, and I knew not to direct because that's not my lane. So I certainly was blessed in that capacity. I would say the challenges were it's a 3-day shoot. You're shooting on a very limited budget. We were shooting a car scene in the rain for a full day. It's logistical challenges, but also like there's joy in that. It's kind of like a metaphor for life, right? We find the beauty in the struggle if you just go with it. And when you're well supported, then then you have the capacity to rise above and make something good even in spite of the challenges.
Awesome. What was your favorite moment on set while you were filming? Is there anything that really stands out?
I mean, there were so many great moments. I have to say, like, once again, as a person who doesn't necessarily look through a lens for most of my career, seeing some of the frames that the cinematographer and the director came up with and watching how they were negotiating that was actually like magic. It was so exciting to be able to be a part of that. So that was really great, but also just working with the actors that I was working with. I mean, you could not go wrong. This was a stellar cast from top to bottom. So it was just really exciting to be in there every day.
Were you involved in the casting process at all?
I was to a degree because I knew some of the people already. Once again, they're all creatures of the theater, so shout out to the theater world. So yeah, we had relationships, or the producers had relationships with people. I wasn't specifically involved in the casting per se, but it was a very collaborative effort.
Awesome. So I guess what's next? Are you planning on writing any more short films or plays, or what's next for you?
Yeah, so I have a play that was produced last year that's still sort of making its way around, and hopefully we'll be doing some other productions called Primary. So that's out there. There's a couple of other things that I'm writing. I'm not actually specifically writing short films, but I do have a feature, I have a television series, and I have a play that I'm sort of like going between right now. So those are the next things. And then I've written a Christmas show. So yeah, so that's like the most exciting thing, and that's being produced in New Hampshire in December.
Well, congratulations. That's incredible.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming to the Twin Cities Film Fest and having us showcase your work. We are so excited to have you here, and I'm going to get you into your screening so you're not late, but thank you. It was great to chat with you.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Minneapolis is a hometown of my dad and my extended family, so go Vikings. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so